Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me? ได้ยินไหมครับ Hello. Can you hear me? ได้ยินนะโอเคโอเค Uh, I have one announcement because your midterm exam will start on March the 4th and then it will end up on March the 10th. So we will not have class on March the 10th. Okay, I guess some of you may have like a midterm exam. Even though like even you will have a midterm exam in the morning, but it's okay. So we will not have a class on March the 10th and March the 3rd, no class because it's a Makabusha day. Okay, Makabusha day. So okay, so let's check your group information. Don't forget to sign up for group. Okay, so we have agreement that your group member can be valid from 2 to 6. Okay, so you cannot work by yourself. Okay, so you cannot work with your only one member in your group. Also, your group member not be must not be more than 7. Okay, so anyway, Kanpon here we have another Kanpon. Okay, probably he has another group. But anyway, if there's something wrong with your group sign up, you just sign up a new one, and I will take a look at a new one. It should not be a problem. Okay, so you don't have to ask me to delete the previous one. I will do it when I create your work. And okay, and yeah, we're gonna have for assignment, we're gonna have four. Okay, first gonna be group sign up, second one gonna be your proposal, and then your project, your video, and then the last one gonna be in individual work. You have to go to the YouTube channel to check your video. That's all I need. Okay, you cannot like you know give me your video and then that's it. No, no. Okay, you have to go to check your work and then check your work if it's okay. So gonna be four actually. Even though in the course syllabus here, I give you only two, but we're gonna have two more. Gonna have one is group sign up, and then the last one gonna be to check your work. Okay. But anyway, if you miss the last assignment, that means you will get an I, and then you just come to ask me to collect your grade. Should not be a problem. But sometimes to collect your grade can take a longer time. Because we're gonna have like a 2 or 3 more steps to get an approval for collecting your grade. Okay, today we're gonna we're gonna talk about sensory evaluation technique. So, so this is gonna be about sensory evaluation technique in beverage industry. Okay, so I will ask you how you gonna evaluate your beverage, your product. So last time I asked you what is your favorite beverage, right? Favorite drink. And today, I think I will ask another one. If you develop that beverage as your product, how can you evaluate your product? Yeah. So this gonna be tell you about how you can evaluate your beverage, your product. So we need to know about the side of taste. So it's called sensory evaluation. It's a foundation of quality control and product development in the beverage industry. So you have to check if your product is it's good for the market. So it's gonna be a little bit complicated. No, not just like you cannot use AI to evaluate your product. So this one gonna be a combination between human perception and scientific methodology. Okay. So sensory evaluation technique can help you to understand consumer preferences, to maintain quality standard and innovate new product. So this gonna be the gap between bridge the gap between laboratory analysis and real world consumer experience. Okay, so we have 5 senses in beverage evaluation. The first one, visual assessment. So we look at the color, clarity, carbonation level, and form characteristic. Okay, this is gonna be visual assessment. Next one, by your nose, aroma analysis, gonna be volatile compound. So you can use a GCMS to check a volatile compound. You know GCMS, right? GCMS is called gas chromatography. Gas chromatography is just like a try to separate. So when you have mixture, when you have like 100 compound, and then you can use a GC to separate your product, the mix the product, the chemical, and then use MS to identify this the molecular weight of the product, and somehow you can get the structure from the fermentation. But for when you talk about the aroma analysis for, for the beverage industry, probably you need to check the order clean order by just use by an expert, not just only GCMS. I think the difficulty gonna be you need an extra and an accessory to check the order of your product. Not just only in the beverage industry, like if you work in the perfume industry or what else? I don't know what else. That you have like volatile compound that you're gonna need an accessory to to check order by an expert. Next one, use your tongue. Taste evaluation. So for taste evaluation, taste we have Taste, we have five tastes: sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and umami. And yeah, umami. Umami just like a taste that you have when you add a secret ingredient, monosodium glutamate. Why? Yeah. So many people love Thai food because Thai food we always add monosodium glutamate to our food. So this is umami. And sometimes like fermented fish, ala, also have umami because when you carry out the fermentation of any protein, you know, so the protein will be degraded to just a small amino acid sequences, and some amino acid is a glutamic acid. Is it that yeah, is it in the soluble form in water gonna be sodium glutamate, so umami. Sweet, sour, bitter, and salty. Um, I I have another class, molecular gastronomy class, and I told my molecular gastronomy class about the trend of this taste. Spicy, spicy, just from sweet and spicy. But I'm not sure for the beverage development, you need spicy. I think that'll be tough if you add something spicy to your drink. Okay, next one, mouthfeel. Okay, mouthfeel. By checking your texture, body, astringency, and temperature. Another one gonna be sound. Maybe the phase of carbonation, the pop of a bottle opening. So they're gonna be five senses in beverage evaluation. So basically gonna be something like this. Okay, we need expert. You cannot use I don't know if you can use a robot to do it. But at Faculty of Science, we have a professor working on uh, sensor to check you say like to check the volatile compound or compound, volatile compound by using a device. So this called testing method, okay, discrimination test. So the first one, triangle test. So panelists receive three samples, two identical and one different. They must identify the odd sample. Okay. Another one, duo trio test. A reference sample is presented, followed by two coded samples. Panelists identify which matches the reference. Another one, pair comparison. Two samples are compared for specific attribute like sweetness or bitterness. Okay, let's compare comparison. So this is a elimination test. So another one, descriptive analysis method. They use a quantitative descriptive analysis. So they're gonna be like we have a panelist. okay, a panelist. And then develop analysis method. That's all. I don't think we need that one, for your product. Okay, but it's gonna be a detail before. Okay, I do it. Another one, spectrum method. I used to go to a workshop, a wine workshop, to check, to know more about wine. And I don't understand that much because it's a little bit complicated. Like you have to smell, to use your nose to smell, the smell of the smell, the odor of the wine. Okay, so and I don't get it. So they're gonna be the flavor profiling, fruity note, floral aroma, spice component, okay, and herbal element. They're gonna be, so why they have like a profile for differentiate, different wine. But I'm not sure about other payment, other drink. But for your product, you may have like a flavor profile. So they're gonna be affective test. So you're gonna create it's called hedonic scaling. Okay, consumer rate product on a 9-point scale from dislike extremely to like extremely. Okay, so gonna be similar when you evaluate my class. But this one they have a 9-point scale. And another one, preference testing. Consumer choose their preferred product from 2 or more options. Another one, acceptance testing. Measure overall product acceptance in the target market. Okay. So this one, panel selection and training. I think, but for your part, for this class, I don't think we need a panel selection and training. Do we need a panelist? Just check just couple test. Screening process. Okay, this gonna be basic test, recognition test, order identification, assessment, texture, discrimination, exercise, motivation, and availability evaluation. It's a training program to develop a common vocabulary. Okay, okay. I don't. So they're gonna be the training program. So this is how uh, they test the product in a company. But for this class, we don't have to. Gonna be tough for you, I guess. And this is gonna be statistical method in sensory science. So we start from data collection and then analyze by statistical method, and then use PCA. Okay, this one gonna be a bit complicated. Okay. And then preference mapping. So this gonna be like a for research. Quality control application. So gonna be raw material inspection in process monitoring and final product approval. So this part, I think is very interesting. So you start with concept first, and then prototype, make prototype, and then do the sensory test, and then refine your product, and then launch your product. Okay, so this so your product gonna be something like this. You can use your friend as a panelist. Okay. So I think this part I show you in the last week. Beverage category specific wine and spirit, beer and brewing, soft drink and juice, coffee and tea. So they're gonna have a different flavor profile. Like a wine, they have a complex aroma profile, aging characteristic and finish. Okay. Beer and brewing, they focus on hop bitterness, malt sweetness, carbonation level, and off flavor detection. Soft drink, they looking at the sweetness level, acidity balance, fruit characteristic, authenticity, and mouthfeel. For coffee and tea, they evaluate the origin characteristic, roast, profile, and brewing method. So different drink, we have different profiling. Yeah, and that one I just told you that we have Professor Thirakiat, Jan Thirakiat at the Department of Physics. He developed a startup. It's about eNose, so or e-tongue. So they use sensor to detect volatile compound and make a profile. This one is a VR testing, then AI and machine learning. So this gonna be some problem with the sensory evaluation with a panelist. So they're gonna be panelist fatigue, sample bias, scale interpretation, time constraint. So ensure that you get a reliable result. Okay. So I think we have to go that far. So if we have a product development with a sensory test, they say that 85% will get a success rate. And this gonna be the value of the market and 40% for the cost reduction. So it's gonna be future of sensory science. So we're gonna have a genetic test. Another one gonna be sustainability focus. Okay, to ensure eco-friendly product. Another one gonna be real-time feedback user app. And then another one, cross model integration. So visual, auditory, and text, tactile to influence taste perception. Will create more holistic sensory experience. Gonna be complicated. Okay, last one. So key takeaway. So for sensory evaluation, gonna be both science and art. Okay, so gonna be a bit complicated. Uh, So from raw product to finish, raw material to finished product, ensure that you get the same result. Okay. And sensory side guide the product development, help you to create beverages that delight customer. So emerging technology and methodology continue to enhance sensory evaluation. So, so I think I'm gonna ask you for this part, okay, for homework, okay. So last time I asked you what is your favorite product, right? So if you use that as your product in the product development, how you gonna test your product? Okay, this one. Any question for this or anything you want to discuss with me? Okay, so this gonna be assignment. Assignment number 5. Okay, number 5, sensory evaluation. So from the previous assignment, assume that you take your favorite drink for the product development. How will you test your product by the sensory evaluation? So maybe homework, okay? Yeah. Next week. Okay. Hmm. Any questionครับ otherwise I will finish again มีคำถามไหมครับมีคำถามไหม We will have how many weeks? So you may have to think about, your your proposal. So you're gonna have only 2 weeks, but anyway, if we don't have enough time, you can make an appointment with me. So this gonna be the detail. It's gonna be the detail that I need from you proposal. It's gonna be topic. So you cannot just say, oh, I want to make uh, a juice from this fruit. That's it. So you need to give me a detail. For example, for this part, you need to test your product. So how you gonna do that? And also market analysis, planning. You need to make a plan for your product. Also, you need to plan for the cost analysis. If you make this product, you're gonna make money from this one. Okay, have any question? If no question, that's all for today. Okay, have bye bye. Have and type. Or you can do anything. You can type in on your iPad and then take a picture, submit to the Google Classroom, or you can like type in the private comment. Can do. Okay, can you laugh? Okay, have innovation. That's all for today. Too short. I ask you to do your homework. Or you have anything you want to ask for me? Can you laugh? Can you laugh? Or
พระ
you
อา
want
จ
to
ารย์
ครับได้ทำอะไรอ่ะไม่รู้ละตอนนี้หืมอยากรู้อะไรอ่ะ individual work ครับให้แต่ละคน not a group work yet so this gonna be homework because if I give you a big assignment you can use AI to answer so there's gonna be one problem when I give you complicated assignment so gonna be so when I try to give you assignment so I will ask you about your favorite uh or like your preference for anything that one AI cannot answer. Can you like you have กัญญาลักษณ์ไปแล้วอะกัญญาลักษณ์มีคำถามอะไรไหมครับกัญญาลักษณ์ I just like try to give you topic that you will need for your proposal. Basically, we should have like a discussion, but I think you're so busy. Or next time, Kanyalat, Kanyalat, are you here? ไม่มาเลย Kanyalat. Yes. Okay. So, what do you want to know about? Because gonna be this class gonna be I am for me. I think the topic is wide open. That means you can choose anything that you're interested. And if you have a specific topic, I can talk more about that later. For example, if you want to know about a specific drink, okay, I can do that next time. Yes, you can usually GCMS you can use for the analysis of volatile compounds. But for anything that I think for the drink industry, when you need to analyze the order, you need a special accessory because when if you know a GCMS, basically you just use a syringe to take a sample and then inject to a GCMS, right? But to check for the analysis of any order, they will have a special accessory, and you need a people to check the order of your sample because it's a little bit complicated and a panelist, gonna be an expert to check the the order of your product. Yes, have or even like if you want to develop like a alcoholic beverage, you can use TCMS to check if there are any methanol contaminated in your product because methanol is very toxic, a toxic compound. And I haven't from from last assignment, I just I read your assignment and then probably you just develop most of your favorite gonna be juice. Yes. No alcoholic beverage. Mm. You can taste by volatile compound. You can taste volatile compound by GC. In food, they're gonna have that. I think different. You have to extract volatile compound first. In the beverage, you have a liquid, right? But for food, you have a solid. I think solid. I think you cannot. Uh, it's gonna be hard if you want to take sample from solid food. But if you have a liquid in a liquid state, I think this one is okay. And you need to use a solvent to dissolve some volatile compound. But if you have like a perfume, that one is perfect. You don't have to do anything. But if you have water, that one gonna be tough because water is not a volatile compound. Anything that you want to know next, I will try to get information for you. Okay, so the next time I will talk about TCMS. TCMS. What else? Distillation. You know about distillation of coffee. Distillation. What else? Cocktail. Next time, cocktail formulation. What else? Why? Why compound? What else? Um, for your food, I think food gonna be different. Um, that's it. So this gonna be by another class, molecular gastronomy. I, I talk about and talk about food flavor. Yes, this gonna be another class. My class, my another class, my another my class. I think coconut milk. You can do the sensory evaluation. What I mean for food, food they're gonna have. We also have flavor, but flavor is developed by cooking. I think food gonna be a drink, gonna be similar. But for food, for food, they have a Maillard reaction. Not sure about a drink. Caramelization. You're gonna use heat at like a 100. Like a Maillard reaction gonna be 140. For caramelization gonna be at 160. Yeah, salt can use to suppress the bitterness while enhancing sweetness and umami. That's why tasty. Yeah, this gonna be a temperature for the flavor development. But for coconut milk, yes, I think so. Yeah, you can use a sesame variation. Or they have like for coconut milk from different species, they will different. Or even like when you take what you say like, the period that you take coconut from the coconut tree. uh, That one. I think this one. Eh, actually, I have from this one. If this one is you can do as a your list. This one. If you like to differentiate uh, difference. Suppose you have like, for example, you have uh, I'm interested in durian, and I want to differentiate durian, the same species that grow in different location, because different location usually plant will develop different molecule, or they have different nutrient, I guess. So you can use statistical method here to differentiate. So first, you can use any method. For example, GCMS, like or NMR spectroscopy or IR spectroscopy to collect the data, and then you use a statistical method, ANOVA here, and then use a higher method, PCA, principal component analysis. So this gonna like give you a graph, a mapping, a map. So if you have a different species, you get like a different Iceland of your data. Yeah, this part, if you interested in this part, you can do that for your research. But for this part, I'm not sure. But we have a copy, a license, ANOVA, but I don't know how to use it. We don't have a software for PCA. I think so, yeah. For coconut milk, coconut carb, I think it's coconut น้ำมะพร้าวกะทินี่นะกะทิ coconut milk น้ำมะพร้าว coconut juice. Yeah. And Yalat, you have anything? พูดไปหมดเลยไม่มีใครมาเปิดกล้องมาคุยกับผมก็เลยเหงาต้องมาคุยกันเองตลอด จริงก็อยากคุยกับพวกเรานานๆแต่พวกเราก็อยากคุยอะไรอ๋อเหรอกัญญาลัตน์จะไปแล้วเหรอกัญญาลัตน์อยู่ปีอะไรแล้วหกเจ็ดปีสามกัญญาลัตน์ what your major no I know you 05 I know you sign major what your major biotechnology okay biotechnology you can ask อาจารย์อาจารย์สิทธิวัฒน์ถ้าthe the vice chancellor of Mahidol University, he is the expert on your order analysis. You can ask him to check the. Usually they will have you know, TCMS is just like an instrument, but for to check the order of any product, you need one accessory. I, I learned from him that you need an accessory with people. You need a people to intervene in the analysis. You use your nose to check the order of your product. But for GCMS, you're gonna take anything that you inject sample to GCMS. But if you're interested in this method, I love to see your work in the future. Or next time I'll show you. I have some paper that you can use TCA. And actually, you like if you have like a durian or any food farm, like you have call it, like you are a big producer of food, TCA. Okay, next time. No, for I think for volatile compound they use PC not HPLC. For HPLC, basically you're gonna check non-volatile like ionic ion or like a ion or any like a high molecular or like a polar compound. Yeah, yeah. Professor Sithivat. So, next. Yeah, so I support you. I love to see. So this part is part of a research. Or, if you're gonna use this methodology for your research, your senior project, but for this part, it should a little bit complicated because for general education, T letter, T letter. So for general education, we go just only the broad in the broad perspective. So we're gonna go to the top of the T letter. We don't go to the deep detail. Otherwise, we some students may not understand. If for SPLC, if you can dissolve your that the sample, if the sample in the solvent, you can do that on SPLC. GC, yeah, GC is more specific because you need a volatile compound. Otherwise, it will, stay at the sample injection. So we have a GC, HPLC, and then MS gonna be another accessory connect to GC or HPLC. I love to have SPLC or LCMS. No, sorry. SPLC connected to MS, or sometimes we call LCMS. A little bit more expensive. Nobody pay for me. So I just come here to teach you general education classes. So for TC and SPLC, it's just like a instrument to separate your product. So if you have a mixture, okay, mixture, and then if after you pass to DC or SPLC, DC you're going to use gas as a carrier or as a EUN. For SPLC, you're going to use liquid, liquid as a EUN. So both DC and HPLC gonna separate your product. But if you want to know, the the structure of the product, you need MS. So MS is like a use. So after it's separate, you separate your product, you get profile, chemical profile, and then each peak will be injected to MS to check the molecular weight of the product. And MS can tell you the fragmentation. So you can tell the structure from the fragmentation of the chemical. That one gonna be a bit complicated for non-science majors. Still okay, Kanyalat? Oh, so I have so many students from biotechnology major in my class. Okay. Actually, this class I want you to is a finance literacy, and not science literacy. So I want you to, the idea just come from a YouTube video. It's from the standard, and we can naturally interview someone from Galant, Galanti, Galanti, Cha Galant, and and the owner say about like she wanted to develop product for the blue ocean. So I haven't tried any tea from Galan yet. I just learn from the YouTube video that uh, we need to add some value in the product to, when you sell your product, you want to sell in the red market, you want to sell it in the blue market. So, Galan Coffee, they have their store at like a shopping mall. Yeah. And shopping mall, usually you have to pay for I don't know how to say, for the location. I don't know how to say. So you're gonna have a fixed cost for that one. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive. That's why you need to save it in a higher price. And for this part, if you like to add some other healthy chemical into a drink, I guess it may help you to increase the value of your eh, that's I guess. Probably next time I tell you a lot of things. GCMS distillation, cocktail formulation, PCA, wine profile. Is there anything you like to I can get of AI in? I have so many books, but I don't have time to. I think use AI is more, is faster than getting at, at any. Okay, have any other question? Or you have anything in your any idea about your proposal yet? So so for your proposal, since this class is not a science literacy class, so we sorry different. So you need to show me, if you're gonna make money from your product. That's all I need. So that's this one gonna be pitching idea for most beverage product. Okay. So basically gonna be start from, I think any product you need start from laws and order. Is there any law and order that you need to for your product? Okay. First one. And then the beverage formulation. And then check the quality of your product. Okay. Next gonna be make it sustainable. Then market trend, branding, and also financial planning and cost. So these gonna be the topic I will need. I will ask you, but I don't have any format. Gonna be any format that you can in your. But this gonna be a topic I'm gonna ask you. Okay, any other question? Anjala, any other question? Anything else? I mean, from full up. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Natapon, Natchapon, Natchapon.
Yeah,
How are you?
good.
Really? So, so what is your favorite product?
Sorry, again, please.
I mean, so what product that you can develop for this class?
For me personally, I will go for soda.
Soda. Keep trying, get information. Again. So for this class, you need to get information about your product. So I have like, I don't know how many group that we're gonna have. If we have, so I guess we have about like, students with. So in this class, we have 101 students. And for group the number of group here. We have we're gonna have like about 10 to 10 to 12, yes, 10 to 12 group. So we're gonna have about 12 okay ครับ Is there anything I can help in your product development? Let's suppose
I still have no idea right now.
okay, for the sensory evaluation, this one like we use a people to shape. Okay. Yes. But also we can use the next time I can show you some instrument that you can use to check your form. Any other question? Question? Any other question? Falaf, are you here? Krishno, Winkit, Lasana, Kanalat. So if no other question, you just go to okay. Or if you have any question, you can ask. Or anything you want me to get information for you next. Query is nothing. Query is nothing. Can do it now if you like. Should be. Can you do it by yourself? Okay. Tell me about ECS and ESA level. Simple. Need rocket car. slide for you. In the Google Class. Okay. ใส่เอา leave เอา leave a link for this slide. So this one, well, I asked about GCMS and LCMS in the beverage industry. So before that, sensory evaluation, you use people to detect to check your product. But this one, you're gonna use instrument. You're gonna use machine and one. To this two technique, I think gonna be useful the analysis. So GCMS, so GC just for separation chemical from using gas, and then identify the structure, the chemical by gas spectrometry. Because in your product you have flavor compound, you have volatile ambient, you have aroma. Yeah, GCMS we use for wine and spirit. For spirit, I think we can use to check methanol contaminant. And also any other product. Beer and brewing, soft drink. For LCMS gonna be in another, gonna be GC. So you detect in the gas phase. LC you detect in the liquid phase. Liquid phase means that you have non-volatile compound. Also, yeah, I think can you say about like volatile compound? Yeah, some volatile compound might not be stable, thermally stable. So you can use LCMS. Okay, LCMS. So for LCMS, you analyze non-volatile compound, analyze thermally unstable molecule, especially it's better for polar substances because polar substances usually for GCMS they use silica. But yeah, silica and LCMS also they use silica too. Ideal for large network. I think now if you have heard about metabolomic, know about that? Metabolomic, you have like a mixture and then you just inject your sample into LCMS and get a profile. If you work in the food industry, you can develop like a flavor profiling something. I love to have a LCMS in my lab, but I don't have one. I have a GCMS in my lab. If you like to analyze your product, can come to my lab. Okay, for LCMS in beverage safety and compliance. So to detect contaminant, to check an additive analysis, natural compound, and authenticity testing. I think this one gonna be like a fingerprint. Okay, this is gonna be comparison of GCMS and LCMS. This gonna be first one volatile and semi-volatile compound for GCMS. For LCMS, gonna be non-volatile and polar. I think polar compound usually, if you if you are stationary, it's a silica, just stick into polar compound, will stay on your station. And if you have thermally unstable molecule, you cannot use a GCMA because you have to heat, make it as a gas. For GCMS, it is easier for the operation than LCMS. GCMS one machine, it cost me about like a 4 million. But for LCMS, the cost gonna be higher, at least 10 million. Okay. You can use as a quality control for testing, for production monitor, finish analysis, shelf life. It's an impact. Let's see. Also for GCMS or LCMS, you can have automation, auto sampler. So if you have like 100 sample, you can put in a vial and then put in the auto sample and run overnight. They come back next morning. They have to stay in machine from other machine. And quality control you can use as a real time. You can integrate with AI, machine learning. Because if you have a lot of compound in your mixture, I think the analysis of your product going to be a bit complicated. Sometimes I think if you work, have you heard about biorefinery? Anyone know about biorefinery? Biorefinery. Yeah, today we have a biorefinery and I didn't go. Stay at home. For biorefinery, for example, if you have gas, then you convert gas, signal cellulose to become bio oil. That one you're gonna have 100 compounds. And sometimes GCMS is not enough. Sometimes you need like a GCMS, MS. So it's gonna be GC, gonna be GCMS, MS. So gonna be 2 dimension, GCMS and GCMS. So they're gonna have like a second dimension for weather circulation. Yeah, but only finally we need that, and I don't have money. Okay, but this gonna be GCMS and LCMS. Any question about this? Another one. Distillation. You spill it. ลองดูว่าจะ check if there anything useful you, you can comment if this part will be this alcohol distillation. So distillation. So basically, you want to transform fermented liquid into spirit. So we're gonna use this called pot still. Basically, this one in this part you have fermented liquid, and then you heat it up. So you have this one. Show where is condenser. Condenser probably here. So you have a cooling water, pass, passing this area and then get a spirit liquid. So distillation, you want to separate alcohol from water by heating. Alcohol, so for ethanol, the boiling point is 78 degrees Celsius. And for methanol, gonna be like 63 degrees Celsius. But basically, you can purify ethanol until you get 95%. You cannot distill the ferment. You cannot distill your uh, your fermented liquid to get 100% impossible. So this history of distillation. So the science behind the spirit fermentation first, and then you have a pot still to transfer your fermented liquid to the pot still, then heat, and then collect the vapor, then cool the vapor to yeah, this is a pot still. this part for giving us destination. And this one is a category for the spirit. Okay, we have whiskey. Whiskey mean, I think whiskey, it depends. Most of the category of the spirit just categorized by the raw material. Like for example, whiskey and brandy. And whiskey just start from barley, corn, rye, and wheat. So this is called whiskey. For brandy, gonna be from wine, from grape, okay, from juice. Vodka gonna be from grain or potato. Rum from sugarcane. And gin is just from botanical. Juniper berry. And tequila just from blue agave. And the produce and the plant. The area that can produce a tequila must be in 5 states of Mexico. Otherwise, it will call another one Mexican. So when you go to a grocery store, then you see speeding. I don't drink, but I always have fun looking at the label of the speeding. They're very creative. So if you take wine and then you steal your wine, you get brandy. And think from any from like rice, barley, corn, grain, gonna be whiskey if you do steal that. Vodka, the meaning is pure water. Just rum is from sugarcane. And after the distillation, they may undergo aging in wooden barrel, okay, to develop color, flavor, and character. I think the character, this one is very complicated. I love, I love, I love the characteristic of the spirit. But even though I don't drink, I must say that I do. The oak barrel are most common. You can develop flavor, color, and character. We have a chemical transformation in barrel, color development. So this is a factor affecting spirit quality, raw material. I think gonna be depends on the percent of sugar. Okay. I think grape, they have like a higher concentration, higher percentage of sugar. And other fruit may be lower. That's why it's not, they don't take some other fruit to make a wine. Okay, I think the alcoholic percentage in wine probably can vary from like 12 to 14. But for other fruit in Thailand, probably 5. Too low. Other is gonna be temperature control, barrel selection, water source. I think water need like a pure water, not just use like a pipe water. Timing and passion. So you need to wait, see, and you need like a master distiller. They have the innovation in this stage. This is going to be a future of this spirit. One more. I'll show you my pot still, but I never do any experiment yet. So I have a pot still here. It's still in the old lab because after my retirement, if I don't have anything I can make money, I will go be a master in distillation because I guess the chemistry gonna be really easy for me. And then when I buy any book that related to spirit, the price gonna be like twice or higher from like a regular price. I don't know why. Not really. So, but but anyway, this gonna be the hot steel that you add the fermented liquid, and then you heat the fermented liquid. Then the vapor, the alcohol will be vaporized here. It's gonna be the top here, and then they will have like a connector to this part, and gonna be so, and then vapor will come to this tube. Okay, we have this tube here, and then in this in this container we will have cold water to cool down the vapor to to condense the vapor to become liquid, and then we collect the spirit here, the liquid here. We just use like a glass to collect the liquid. So I think it's very easy. I think the most important going to be how you control the temperature. So basically, even though it depends on the fermentation technique, even though sometimes it can produce methanol naturally, it's gonna be by the fermentation, and you need to separate methanol first. Methanol will come first. Methanol will the boiling point of methanol is 63 degrees Celsius, and ethanol gonna be 28 degrees Celsius. So methanol, you have to collect methanol first. Collect methanol first from this part. Okay, this part. Collect methanol first, and after it change the temperature, you just change the glass to collect ethanol. That's all. I think so easy. So I, if I, after my 60 at university don't hire me, I go to be a master of distillation. I think I can use my chemistry knowledge to make money. Okay, anything else? Anything else? That's all for today. So I show you the solution. I show you LCMS for X. Instrument. Okay, Y profile next time. I attended a course for Y testing. I love this workshop for Y test. Anything else? Any other question? Any other question? ไปหมดแล้วเหลือ3 คนแล้วเหลือกัญญารัตน์รัชพงศ์กวินทิพย์อ่ะอ่ะ anything else มีใครมาแล้ว any other thing that you need me to find information for you what, what you see here I have to pay for the AI okay. So for this one is called gamma.app you can use it so it depends on the plan that you use you can generate information it's really easy but anyway it's useful but it's similar to Google but it can like collect data for you as a you just do other thing else you don't have to do anything that any other for if there's someone already in the world โอเคมีคำถามไหมครับมีคำถามไหมanything else any other question or anything you want me to find information okay if no other question okay I think now 6:30 so I maybe can just leave you ask you your homework okay and if you have anything you want me to find information for you let me know okay โอเคครับ if you see you next week มีคำถามไหมครับไปแล้วเดี๋ยวคุณเราจะถามเลยไหมเป็นเวลาอย่างไรอีกผมถามไม่รู้อีกเมื่ออย่าง installation สอนแล้ว spirit ก็มีค็อกเทลเดี๋ยวผมไป I I I went to attend a cocktail workshop I also have like a they call it what is I forgot it cocktail mixer I used to do it so I gonna make money if I don't have if my my professor career you know will end sometime soon I will go to be a bartender โอเคโอเคครับไม่มีใครตลกกับผมเลยอ่ะอยู่คนเดียวแล้วบ้านนี้ก็อยู่คนเดียวผีเราเนี่ยมีคำถามไหมครับจะไปแล้วไม่มีคำถามก็เดี๋ยวผมจะได้มีคำถามไหมครับกัญญารัตน์กัญญารัตน์ยังอยู่เนี่ยกัญญารัตน์ไปกินข้าวแล้วไงเลยนัชพลนัชพลบอก no อัครรัตน์ you have any question กัญญารัตน์แอบไปกินข้าวเลยกวินทิพย์
Yes. I don't have any questions.
or you have anything you want me to find information for you
Oh, no.
what kind of beverage that you want to develop
Milk tea.
tea
Yes.
okay Good. Okay, and next time I'll try to get. I think tea also. I don't have time to go any workshop for coffee or tea barista to become like coffee or tea barista. I think they call like coffee barista, right? But tea gonna be sommelier. Sommelier. That's a point, yeah. I'm already done at 5:30, and then I want to keep you until 6:30 now. Okay, next time,ไปแล้วโอเคพอวิดไปแล้วธัญรัตน์ have
Okay,
any
I come back. I don't have any question now.
Okay, see you next time outside. I'll find it other information for you. If
Yeah.
you know, in all, it's gonna be, we have so many students, and then we have so many, it's broad area, and I don't know specific information that I should get it for you. So if you have any specific information that you need, let me, I'll find information by AI anything. โอเคครับบ๊ายบายครับบ๊ายบาย
โอเคค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ